Good morning. It's Jane, and I'm here as a social worker and a yoga facilitator, but mostly as I am inspired to share teachings. Something moves me in the world, and I bring it here to share it with you because it takes a village, if you will, for wellness. So, welcome to this present moment. Let's take a breath together through the nose. Hold it at the top for 2 and blow out through pursed lips. Using the breath as an anchor toward mind and body, toward finding quiet, toward finding the present moment. So there are 2 teachings that I wanted to share today. One has to do with the sound of the breath within, and that is coming through a teaching through Sivikami, who is a teacher, a yoga teacher of mine from many years ago, who I've reacquainted with. So the sound of the breath within, it's an elusive concept, but it has sort of rocked my world. And at first it was like, I don't even know what that means. And then I recognized, and I sort of looked it up because I intellectualize things, and then they begin to sink into my body. And the teaching of the sound of the breath within seems to be that, so it exists. From a scientific perspective, very coincidentally, if you believe in coincidence, I read an article about the sound of music in one's brain, how unique it is for each person listening to music, and they can actually watch how your brain responds to music. So the idea that the inner sound of breath exists, that we can drop away from, so for instance, the sound in the outside world. So just focusing. To the sound, even imagine that being in an everyday world, the sound of television or the sound of children, other people, neighbors, lawnmowers, the singing bowl. To the sound of the breath, we were starting to move inward, or the sound of the beating heart, to the sound of silence. Simon and Garfunkel. And the second teaching has to do with this concept of restorative yoga. And I did a training with Lizzie Lassiter and Judith, her mama, on restorative yoga. And those 2 teachings bump up against each other because how can we find the sound of silence? How can we find our quiet when our nervous systems are activated through no fault of our own or fault of our own? So there's this combination of how we're relating to the world matters. And in order to quiet the mind and the body, we need to restore, we need to rest, we need to replenish, we need to honor, and we need to open the door for Coco. Okay. The sound of silence. So restorative yoga, so I was thinking this morning about how do we access the sound when we're activated. And so I'm a big fan of using the body to let out. You'll notice me shaking, and because I'm not great with this system, part of me wants to get up, and then you'll probably lose me. Yeah, you're going to lose me. So we can do it sitting. So what if we just began to bounce a little and shake a little, and really began to sweep angst, even in our head, to this present moment, rubbing hands together to create heat, releasing and putting the hands on your body wherever you're holding tension. So you may need to scan your body and just bring your hands to your body and breathe and hold in any type of compassion. Come to this present moment, welcome. And then as we begin to honor the body in the present moment, we want to ask ourselves, how can I put myself in a restorative yoga? I'm hesitating because we can do a child's pose. or we can do the Shavasana or the Tadasana of yoga in terms of resting. Can you see me here? My bad. Here you go. Okay, so join me here on the floor where we have just let all our yayas out. Everything is out. Not everything, guys. We know it's a journey. But at any given moment, we release. And then we find ourselves, I am putting a block under right at my hips. And I am putting, now if you want more on restorative, please look up. I'll put it in the show notes what you could find. But this is just putting my feet on a block, my hips are on a block, and my palms are, you can either put them out to open the lungs or down by your body. You can cover yourself with a warm blanket. You can put something over your eyes to block the light, and just begin to let your body melt into the present moment. And begin with a mantra. So we did an anxiety teaching the other day to find a word that helps ground you like a pebble in an active brook. So my word is bodhisattva. That grounds me when I'm anxious. So you might find your word now. It could be right here, right now, calm. And begin to calm the mind and let the body rest and melt into this present moment. Your legs can be bent or down. What is best for you? Find your satnam, your truth in this present moment. My feet are bent, my legs are bent, and my knees are resting into each other. Find your truth into this present moment. Now let this moment go inward. Let us bring our attention inward. Your eyes are either covered or closed. You're moving from sounds in the outside world to the beating heart and the breath. And if thoughts get discursive and come up, just thoughts, okay, right here now, okay. Right here, I am enough. Right here, enough. And then we begin to take the nervous system into the present moment and say, okay, it is okay in this moment to choose peace. I offer myself this prayer. It is okay in this moment to choose peace. I offer this prayer to you. It is okay in this moment to choose peace. We have a choice. Here and now we have a choice. You have shown up for choice. And in the choosing of peace, in the choosing of honoring self, in resting self, in restoring self, in setting that boundary from past and future into this present moment, we can begin to go inward. Now my voice will be a distraction. So what I will do is I will talk you into silence, and you can turn off the video or leave the video on because it'll just go into silence, obviously, and let yourself go inward. Let your nervous system melt into this present moment of yes, of enough, and see if you can find the sound of the breath within. What is that sound uniquely for you? The tension is melting out of the spine. Soften the space behind the ears. Let the belly drop down into the floor. Let the shoulders melt into the floor. Wherever you're connected to the floor, thank you, Earth, for holding me safe and sound in this moment. Thank you, breath, for bringing new energy into every cell. Thank you for this moment, this staycation of ease. Now drop my sound away and move your attention away from mind into the body as you explore the sound of silence. And let that sound of silence, let that sound of breath, whatever that sound is like for you, nourish mind, body, and spirit. This is your moment of wellness. Take this moment daily to replenish the spirit. Choose peace.